for 9 years to be here. It's always been the same, $40 a month, $39.99. And they haven't gone up, but at the same time, there's so many open source ways to have your podcast and presented on Blog Talk or any place else, including ours was purchased by Voxnest, which was with Spreaker, bought Spreaker. I'm not sure if Voxnest bought, it's a VOXNEST bought Spreaker, but it's Voxnest iHeart, I guess, now, and iHeartMedia to acquire Voxnest. Now, that was October 23rd. So Bob Pittman in October 27, 2020, a lot of deals been going on, folks, out there. He said that he announced to go from minority shareholder in Voxnest to iHeart grow its podcast and revenue. So that was a business transaction that was done. iHeartMedia announced it would go from minority shareholder to Voxnest to buy the company outright. So iHeartMedia is who's running the show now. The deal gives iHeart the monetization platform Dynamo and tech capabilities, including dynamic ad insertion, audience, and content targeting, programming, podcasts, buying access to all audio cell platforms, and a full podcast analytics platform. So the company expects additional inventory coming in from Voxnest Audio Network, and that will increase monetization across the range of podcasts, benefiting both the buyers and the sellers. So kudos to iHeart, and be able to drive greater monetization for creators. I doubt that, because we get pennies. The way they've set this up with Commission Junction is pennies out of Atlanta, Georgia, with the way that not Commission Junction, but it's really not fair the way we put in the content for podcasters, for the way they've set up to give pennies on the end for who they choose usually to put in on the advertisers. And just so you know, if you see any ads, those are not chosen by me. Those are chosen by the big company, iHeart. And that's just the way it's been in the way that they've got the technology set up. Now, unfortunately, we have people that have in the past been able to get on, and I'm not going to approve any audience. So if you want to participate with me and be live on the air and have something to share that's worth listening to, then I will know who you are before I bring you on. And you can donate and join membership-wise to paypal.me/TJ Morris ET Radio. That's my brand, TJ Morris ET Radio. And we will move forward with iHeartMedia and all those out there that work with us professionally and to make the world a better place without these people entertaining themselves just by being there with nothing better to do. Now, Women Wicca Wednesdays is going to be about learning our gifts and how to share with others, and not worrying about people that will sidetrack us or detract from what we're trying to create here with our groups for emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual growth. And I am looking for authors to be in our authors club for $5 a month. And that way, if you want to come on from time to time, or we can market for you, we have websites. And we have to do our own marketing and promoting of our club for our members. And at the same time in radio, allowing our members to express what topics they would like to share on the resources that my company, American Communications Online, is paying for, not to be disturbed. Plus, there's money I have to put out for distribution. I don't have to, but I choose to, with Spreaker. And then there's other podcasting places available that you can put your brand in your radio station and the open source information you're willing to share with other people, and topics that you find interesting and topics that apply to today in this ever-changing world. Melinda, if you can hear me, I don't see you, and I'll refresh the screen if you want to call back in for the next hour. Interesting. Okay, I refreshed. And, what we talk about, there's so much information out there, oh my gosh, to talk about. And the women of the world, we were talking about the richest women in the world. Let me look up women as women. I'm going to put those, since we don't know those names, it's not very entertaining, is it? So one thing I've learned about the entertainment industry is getting your name out there is very important. But maybe these wealthiest women in the world don't care, like the royalty. But Forbes says 2,370 individuals earned the honor of appearing on Forbes' World Billionaires list. But, we don't know who they are, nor do we care, because we're down here in the trenches. We're making $50K and below. And now some people make $100K and above, but, the people that I grew up with, seriously, I don't know if both my parents working together ever made $50K in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And I was out on my own at 67, May 10th, 67. Let me see. Income for USA since 1960. Let's see what happens. I know it's based on wars, guns and drugs, right? Drug running, gun running. It's the income of family and persons in the United States, 1960. What was the average U.S. income? Now, that would be interesting to me. Maybe not you, but income of families. We can go to the census.gov. Oh, goodness, current population reports. My goodness, they gave me a whole PDF. Oh, my, I don't want that. That's too in-depth. That trends in family income, average money income, current dollars. Wow, talking about money, income, that's going to be a whole other show because that's very complicated. Now, the wealthiest women in the world, estimated wealth in own businesses. North America, let's see, goodness, they've got women. How did they do this? The net worth, $50 billion and more versus $20 billion, $10 billion, and $5 billion. How much .net? So thank you for being here. I don't know who owns it. I didn't do any research on it. But the top richest women in the world, number one was Frances Betancourt Myers and family, $73.4 billion. Julia Fletcher Koch, K-O-C-H and family, $61.1 billion. Number three is Alice Walton, $57.6 billion. Number four is Mackenzie Scott with $53.5 billion. Five is Jacqueline Mars, $41.1 billion. Six is Yang Huayan, $28.6. That's Huyyan. Seven is Gina Reinhart with $27.6 billion. 8 is Abigail Johnson, $25.3 billion. 9, Iris von Bona and family, $23.6 billion. And 10 is Susan Clanton, $22.9 billion. The richest women in the world. Now, they represent several industries, including fashion, retail, food, beverage, real estate, and the most famous families represent top 35 women are from the Mars family alone of candy making. What? 5 of the top 35 women Mars family. I guess we eat a lot of Mars candy. Mars is one of the big ones, right, that helped make America great was candy, Hershey's and Mars. Now, Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, I didn't even know her name nor recognize it, but she and her husband joined her commitment to donate most of the fortune for, I don't know, philanthropic. So she knows she's got more than she can deal with, so maybe she's a normal woman because she was with Jeff when he had nothing, I'm sure. So we'll learn more about her name, Mackenzie Scott, and Melinda that was married to. Why is Melinda not on here? Gates. That's curious. Our Oprah. So, you know, the names that we know, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, understanding money. Well, do we understand money? That is something that we should learn in school. And I was taught not anything about how to manage money. I guess the economy in business at all in high school, but I've been told that now the children are taught how to work with money and I guess how to manage a checkbook maybe. I don't know if that's true or not. You guys can check it out. Now the kids have gone back to school. We're visualizing the world in a better place. With the governments allowed the world a time to breathe, all governments. But America, never forget, after World War II, we built the rest of the world. We really helped them get off the ground, so to speak, because there was nothing but rubble, including the UK. So this is one thing America needs to realize and come back to is infrastructure for ourselves, because all these other 195 countries and all, so we'll say 194, well, at least 193, the historic breakdown of how America comes back will be made in the USA products, okay? Exports of goods and services, U.S. imports and exports. So we have goods and services. It used to be called products and services, but they say goods and services now. So the world is based on economic trade with financial activities around the world. And the economists, women, please get into economics, not just sociology, but economics, please. Help us learn how to run this, even though the world economy is China. The United States is still leading with Europe over there, with Germany, except for with the GDP. And the global economy is now, due to COVID-19, is looked on the eve of the coronavirus recession. Now, the international market for computer devices, my goodness, China holds the huge $148 billion. Really? So our latest illustrates the extent to which Asia dominates the world export market for computer services. China pretty much owns the world when it comes to that, with $148 billion. Onto the United States, only 26, and Mexico, $32 billion. The Netherlands, $28 billion. Germany, $15 billion. Czech Republic, $13 billion. So China is leading the pack, folks. Hong Kong's only $21 billion. Thailand, $12 billion. Geez. Visualization of the coronavirus economic impact on everybody. It's really, your state getting its fair share of coronavirus stimulus. It looks like the Paycheck Protection Program benefited a lot of states, Texas and California, more so than any others. Now, Paycheck Protection injected billions of dollars into the stimulus. Of course, cash in, cash out, right? Cash is king. But I know everything's going up except our income in America. And we're going to be speaking for those that are making $50,000 or less for women in their household. So a lot of women were sad